So, you've got this brilliant idea, something you're convinced could really change things. But let's be real, how do you take that spark and actually build a business that lasts? Well, that's what we're going to tackle today. Think of this as the founder's guide to using market analytics to build something real. It really all boils down to this one question. I mean, think about it for a second. We've all seen these amazing, genius ideas just fizzle out. And at the same time, we've seen super simple ideas completely take over the world. So, what is the secret sauce? What's the difference? Well, the secret is making a huge shift in how you operate. It's the difference between running on pure guesswork, assumptions, that gut feeling, a whole lot of hope, and running on actual insight. An insight that's built on a foundation of data, hard evidence, and a real strategy. And the tool that gets you from guesswork to insight, that's market analytics. The best way to think about it is like a compass. When you're out in the wild, totally unpredictable world of starting a business, this is the thing that helps you find your true north. It's all about studying the market, finding the hidden patterns, and then making decisions that are genuinely smarter. All right, let's dive in. So, before you even think about taking your first step, you absolutely need a map. Our first section here is all about that, mapping the entire playing field so you understand the landscape you're about to enter. Okay, first things first, you have to ask yourself two massive questions. Number one, is there actually a market for your idea? Like, are there real people who will pay for this? And number two, who are you up against? Who's already out there trying to do the same thing? So to figure that out, you've got to start by sizing up the entire opportunity. This is called market sizing. Think of it like this. Your biggest circle is the total addressable market. That's everybody on the planet who could possibly use your product. Then you narrow it down to the serviceable available market. That's the chunk of people you can actually reach. But the most important one is that last one, the serviceable obtainable market. That's the realistic slice of the pie you can actually win. And that, right there, is your reality check. It keeps your goals honest. Okay, next up, you've got to know who you're playing against. A simple competitor analysis like this lets you put everything on the table. You map out your features, your price point, your unique differentiator against what they're doing. And when you do this, suddenly it becomes so clear where you win, where you're weak, and what makes you special. It just jumps right off the page. But here's the thing. It's not just about who's selling a similar widget. You have to scan the entire horizon. That means looking at trends to see where the world is going. It means doing a classic SWOT analysis to understand your own strengths and weaknesses. It means understanding the bigger political and economic forces at play. It's about seeing the whole chessboard, not just the two pieces right next to you. All right, so you've got your map, you know who the other players are, but now for what is honestly the most critical piece of the puzzle, who are the actual people you're building this for? I mean, really think about this. This question is everything. It's not about boring demographics or some abstract data point on a spreadsheet. It is about deeply understanding the real, living, breathing human beings you're trying to serve. So the first step is something called market segmentation. Because, let's face it, you can't be everything to everyone. So you take that huge, messy market and you break it down into smaller, more manageable groups. Are you building for students or young professionals, maybe small business owners? Each of these groups thinks, acts, and buys in totally different ways. And this is why you have to learn to listen. This is called voice of the customer analysis. It's about tuning in to what people are actually saying, what they're frustrated with. A single quote like this one is pure gold. It tells you more than a 1,000-page report. It's literally a signpost pointing you directly to a problem that needs solving. And look, there are a ton of ways to do this listening systematically. You can analyze customer needs directly with surveys. You can watch their behavior to see what they actually do, not just what they say. You can even dive into social media analytics to hear the organic conversations they're already having. Each one of these is a different lens to understand your customer. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You got the map, you understand the customer, now it's time to actually build your game plan. This is the fun part, where all that insight finally turns into action. The holy grail for any founder, the big goal for all this work, is achieving something called product market fit. It's that magical moment when your product perfectly scratches an itch for a specific group of people. They love it, they're telling their friends about it, and your business suddenly feels like it's being pulled forward instead of you having to push it. And the roadmap to get there? That's your go-to-market strategy. It's a pretty logical flow, right? You use all that research to lock in your target audience, then you craft a value proposition that speaks directly to their pain points. From there, you pick the marketing channels where they actually hang out, and only then do you plan the big launch. But a really solid strategy goes even deeper, right? Analytics helps you answer all sorts of critical questions. How should you price your product? How do people actually perceive your brand? Should you think about entering a new market? Who could you partner with? Every single one of these data-backed decisions helps you build out your master plan. And here's a trap a lot of founders fall into: thinking the launch is the finish line. No way, it's the starting gun. Now the real journey begins. It's time to constantly check that compass and make sure you're still on the right path. And this is the question that has to become your obsession. In a healthy way, of course. You've made all these smart, educated guesses based on data. Now you have to measure what's actually happening. Is it working out the way you thought it would? This is where a good analytics dashboard basically becomes your co-pilot. It lets you ask those tough questions in real time. Which of our marketing channels are actually bringing in customers? Are we just burning money on ads? Where are people getting stuck in our sign-up process? This isn't just data for data's sake. This is your instruction manual for how to get better every single day. So to make sure all this data you're relying on is actually, reliable, there's a concept called market analytics governance. I know it sounds a little corporate and stuffy, but it's a super simple idea. You just set the rules of the road for your data. That way you know it's clean, your methods are solid, and your decisions are always based on truth. So when you pull it all together, when you zoom out, the big idea is this: market analytics isn't about becoming a data scientist. It's about transforming your entire journey from a random, blind walk in the dark into a guided expedition where you know exactly where you're going and how you're going to get there. So I'm going to leave you with one final thought. We are all surrounded by data. The tools to analyze it are cheaper and easier to use than ever before. So the real question isn't whether you can get the data, it's whether you're asking the right questions in the first place.